set for my people, yeah. Coming back like a sequel, yeah. So hot, I'm a fever, yeah. Like the white wolf, gonna make you a believer, yeah. I'm running all straight diesel, yeah. Like I'm evil Knievel, yeah. Too fast, it's illegal. Call me the underdog, gonna make you a believer, yeah. I don't ever wanna look back. The future's blurry, but the past is a trap. I might be staring at my last chance, but I'm cold-blooded. I'm cold-blooded. Ice in my veins, never gonna run. Venom on my face, fire on my tongue. I'm cold-blooded.
Alright, so what we got set up so far, we got our bearings in for the drive shaft and the jack shaft. We're going to be running a team secondary, and that's going to be our placement for our jack shaft. Obviously we don't really have any clearance to run a rotor behind on the drive shaft, behind the secondary, especially we don't know where our alignment's going to be, where this is going to be set up until we get the motor in. But at least with the keyed shaft, we have all the play we need to kind of accommodate for the offset and the alignment for the clutches. Same one inch keyed shaft, same bearings are going to be used for the drive shaft. But this is our drive shaft for this little sled. Obviously, we're going to have an issue trying to make a keyed shaft like that accommodate that drive, and there is nothing else that I've been able to find with any kind of drive that'll work with this little track that these sleds come with. If we go to the other side, we'll be able to kind of see here what the plan is with a brake rotor. We still got to figure out, climb up on the shelf and find a caliper, something that was going to work. This way or this way. And we're just going to run a regular, another sprocket there. And the top sprocket, obviously up here, and some kind of... So like I said, we got this drive shaft, and we got to make something. What I got is just some hex shaft. Same size that we have here. And I'm just going to have to figure out the dimensions between the rails and machine it down to 1 inch and then just key it. And then slide the drive right on there. And that will be our keyed 1 inch hex shaft, I guess you want to call it. So that's what we're going to work on next. Alright. Alright, so I had a little concern worrying about how hard this was, and as you can watch, it started cutting into it pretty good. Not as soft as actually this mild steel, but the case hardening wasn't that hard. It wasn't that deep. And then we started getting a little further into the splines, and you saw that it just didn't want to cut anymore. So I grinded the splines off of it, got below that case hardening, and actually if you look really close. Let's see if you can see it. See where it gets a little shinier? Where it's cut right on the edge? That you could tell the depth of the hardening of the steel. It's not really focusing very well. You can see it. But we're gonna put it in a little bit of a jig. Kind of like this. Start welding it. Check that it's true. Keep welding it. Fill that entire void with weld. And it should be pretty hard. I'm not super worried about rehardening it. Like I said, I'm going to try to put the bearing support on this side so it's not a lot of stress on that weld. But I'd rather it flex a little bit than just snap. So we'll see how it goes. So the motor's in its place. Just roughly, we still gotta adjust some things. Hopefully the only thing that you're gonna notice from the outside is gonna be the clutch. We're gonna make kind of a cover for that. Jack shaft is where it's gonna be. Just have to make another jack shaft. That one is for a different project we've been working on. But the motor's in, mounts are somewhat in place. Just got this exhaust coupling. We cut apart another 250 pipe from a KX 250, and we're gonna start working on that now and getting that mocked up. And then we're gonna pull everything apart and try to do a final assembly after building the pipe and the steering stem. Gotta just adjust that a little bit to clear the head. So just got this drive shaft put together, keyed it for the sprocket and brake rotor. Now we have 2 drives, which are machined down shorter on each side. Had to carve them out a little bit for clearance, but hopefully this will prevent any ratcheting with the bigger motor, because originally it just came with 1 individual in the middle, but now hopefully we'll be good to go with this. I'm gonna throw it in there, throw the rear track on. The motor's pretty much in. Had to carve the pins off a little bit, but it was easier to do that than totally re-engineer the steering shaft. That would have just been a little more time than I wanted to keep spending on it. Pipe is pretty much ready to go back in. New jack shaft, gotta get that in place and then trim it down a little bit, but it's getting there. So the motor, we got in there, obviously, finished building the pipe. Like I said, we were gonna do a mid-bleed pipe, which I've never done before. We'll see how it goes. We're gonna lower it down and bring it outside and fire it up. We just have the basic wiring just to get it to run. And then we're gonna work on actual harness with the electric start. And we just got a test tank right now with some gas in it. We have a couple combinations of gear ratios we can go with. Right now, this one's kind of just a middle gear ratio. I think this is 1.6 to 1. I have a 1.3 to 1 setup and then a 2.1 to 1 setup. So we'll try this one and do a little testing and see how it goes. Let's see what she does. And then I'm gonna be lazy and not use the full start. Got the electric start, might as well use it. And of course the battery's dead. That's a lot harder than I thought. Got it? I mean, anybody else extremely disappointed? So we're just gonna try to see what kind of gearing we feel like we got. Obviously we don't have a good test spot right here. Gotta bring it home for that, but at least see what it does, and if anything.
and just get the jetting right, because it is so fat right now. It doesn't want to move out of its own way, but it did get up and move, so we'll keep that jetting. I mean, the gearing the way it is. We'll play with some jetting. So, brought it home, took it for a test ride. Still running a little fat. Gotta take care of the jetting before I start messing with the clutching, but it is just some clutching that I threw in there from the quad that it was in, obviously. Right now, it just is shifting up way too quickly, so it's not revving up, but that's also part of the jetting being a little fat. It won't allow the motor to make power. And like I said, we got the brakes on there, but still don't have the electric start set up or hooked up yet. Came to find out that the stator is bad in the motor, so it wouldn't even charge the battery anyway to run anything other than just electric start until the battery went dead, or just kept it on the tender. So we'll bring it back to the shop, play with the jetting a little bit more. Just a bunch of test and tuning with the jetting and clutching, and it should be pretty good. Otherwise, it does go decent, but not to its full potential, I can tell for sure. All right, we'll keep you updated.